Okay, maybe that's better. How are you guys doing? Surprise! Live stream on a Monday. And don't think because I am holding a pink guitar that I've lost my man card, but I can't help it. This thing is brutal, just crazy brutal. Uh, I don't know. That that thing is insane. So let's see who's in the chat. Brant's already got the clap. So let's see. Snug. Snug's in the chat. A little bit of clap for you. Lance Johnson is in the chat. How's it going? Lance, you get it too, brother. I apologize. You get it twice. Well, guys, I just thought I'd come in and do a live tonight. Brant, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I feel that, brother. I feel that for sure. Color don't match, got a killer sound. I know, right? And okay. So basically, why I was coming on here tonight was just to give you guys a little bit of spoilers, as I normally do on the live streams. I give spoilers out to everybody for upcoming videos and stuff. One guy by the name of Alan Miller, heck of a good dude. Just he lives within like 40 miles of me. Loves the channel, watches videos all the time. Just a great guy. He says he wanted me to work on some of his guitars. He's got one serious issue that I've got to fix. Another basic setup, possibly a tuning machine change, and then this one, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think he said he left this setting in a shed for 3 or 4 years. I don't know. But he said that he wanted this to be like a basic setup and just cleaned up and everything. Of course, it's done now. I've already shot the video on this, although you guys probably won't see that video for a month. But I went ahead and done that, and I've worked with this guitar, and I was just like, and through the whole video, I'm like, I just feel points on my man card slipping away. And then I plugged it up to the multimeter and realized it had 16.12K in resistance on that pickup. So naturally, I just thought, it'll be good for high gain, hopefully. But with just one pickup in the bridge, can't be all that great for clean tones. Guys, this has impressive clean tones as well. It's really impressive. But anyway, in the video, I plugged it up and I throwed the gain to it and I hit one chord. And I was like, there is no way a pink guitar has any right to sound like that. So I've been kind of jamming out with it. It's a great guitar. Even my son come over and played it and he was like, I don't care if it's pink. I'd love to have that. So yeah, color don't really matter. Yeah, you're probably right, but I'm telling you, the way a pharmaceutical costs these days it costs a pretty penny to foot that kind of bill. So yeah, it's an impressive guitar. I mean, really, it is. I was kind of taken aback from it because when we think of Kramer Berettas, we think of I think he said he'd give like 159 for this. before, and he just bought it and he just put it away. And then I ended up kind of redoing it and setting it up, intonation, all that good stuff to it. And look at this. Look at the little eyeball. Ain't that crazy looking? Little eyeball for a volume knob. But anyway, yeah, he says, he put it up and he just wanted me to work on it. And he said that he would actually love it if I'd done a video on this one and 4 other guitars that he sent with me. So I got plenty of content for a while, to say the least. But I'll give you guys a clean tone sample. Now imagine, most of the time, and I'm sure you guys do, when you want clean tones to have more warmth and full body, you usually go to the middle position or to the neck position, or if it's a 5-way, anywhere besides the bridge. You know how it goes if you want that good tone. This one is pretty impressive. So yeah, he wanted it tuned to drop D. Now I know why. Like I said, that thing is, I've been wearing it out. I mean, it's just nuts. I've been playing the crap out of that thing since I had it. And I picked it up Friday. And Saturday, I didn't really get a huge chance to work on it. I did shoot like the first half of the video, and then yesterday I had a customer come over that had a bass guitar. It's a Sterling bass. No, it wasn't a Sterling. It was a G&L bass. He wanted me to do a whole lot of stuff to that, and so I did that on while he was here, and then turn around, and after that I didn't have time to work on that one. And then today I finished the video up this morning, and I've not even edited it yet, but that's an impressive guitar, man. I mean, it really is, pink or not, Hey, Steve's in here. What's going on, brother? And that is a Kramer Beretta, Steve. It's a customer guitar that I'm setting up, one of 5. Well, actually, he gave me 2 guitars, which I'll show you guys here in a few minutes. He gave me 2 project guitars. He's just getting rid of them. This guy's got like 40 or 45 guitars, I think is what he says. And he's trying to thin out the herd. And he had 2 guitars, 2 LP copies that he gave to me. He was like, you can use them for parts, you can try and fix them up, do whatever. Which one of them I'm going to fix up. The other one I'm not really sure about yet. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. It's kind of a oddball. But yeah, that was one of them, and that happened to be the first one I come to. I was just like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get the pink one out of the way, whatever, So I ended up cleaning that up. It was just absolutely, he had it in storage, and it was nasty. And polished the frets, done, the normal stuff to it. And Brant, I do not know what kind of pickup that is. It kind of puts me in the mind of, most people would just look at it and say zebra pickups, but I didn't mention that in the video, and I didn't mention any of the specs in the video, although I plan in the edit to put specs up on the screen, to the left or right of me, that on this guitar. That'll probably tell what kind of pickup that is. But I know one thing, it's hot and it sounds good. Like it takes gain extremely well. Da, 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 da. Hair metal ballad, ballad vibes. Exactly. That's exactly what it. I've not even tried throwing like a whole lot of delay and modulation at it and see how it reacts to that. Maybe I should try that. This one is a Beretta Special. Yeah, Kramer Beretta Special. And it does. It plays nice. Now, action was just a little too high for me. Hey, John's here. What's up, John? That's for you, brother. Get you penicillin. You'll probably need it. And, but yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. It's kind of hard to, uh, it was, the action was, the truss rod needed some help. But I got that dialed in. I got it dialed to 6 thousandths, and it's perfect there. I figured I'm not gonna. It's not rattling. It's not buzzing. I'm not going to do anything with it. And I've got the action down to about 1.3 millimeters on the top and about 1 on the treble side. And it kind of gradually tapers down as you go. And I set up the string height to kind of follow the curvature of the neck. Not that there's much curvature to it. It's a pretty, there is, I would probably say that it may be, without getting my little radius gauges out, I would probably guess it as maybe a 12, maybe. I'm not sure on that, but I didn't check that either. I just kind of wanted to get this one out of the way, and I really didn't go into. I even forgot to do the thickness of the neck. I did the width all the way down, but the fret ends are absolutely just. They're not ball end, but they're rounded. They're so nice. They're rounded over so nice. Let me try some. We'll try some, throw a little bit of, one thing though I haven't decided yet is whether or not I want to, the bridge was completely decked. The claw in the back was screwed all the way into the body. And I mean, I know it's a 6-point bridge, but that always spells trouble in the future. So I backed the claw off, and I've got the bridge floating just a little. And it does okay, like all of these, if you just use it as a tremolo. But if you do deep dives or, something like that, they're not going to stay in tune. Not unless you have a good locking nut up here. But, yeah, it's... Oh, yeah. There's a crap ton of delay on that. But yeah, man. It's an impressive guitar. It really is. I mean, pink or not, that is an impressive guitar. Hey, Timmy's here. They catch up on the chat. See, I don't think I give Timmy the clap. Dang, John, hope you're better. Hey, can rap person. Next thing frame should be 12 inch. Yeah, that's kind of what I was guessing, about a 12 on that, Steve. Because you can, like on your 16s, it's really hard to see any curvature at all for me. Anyway, that's everybody's different, but you can see it on that one. And I wasn't going to say like a 9.5 or anything, so I was thinking like a 12 because it doesn't feel like the Strat necks that do have the 9.5 radius, the older ones. So uh, yeah, and Lance, I'm telling you, I'd play it at a show too. I mean, after plugging that thing in, and it's impressive. My son, like last night, my son, he was over here late yesterday evening, and I still had everything on in here, and he was like, "What you got going on, in the studio?" And I was like, "Dude, I got 5 guitars back there to work on, and one on the way that is a sponsored video. Uh, but I'm working on one right now that I was kind of joking with him. I said, "It's just your style. It's just your style. You'll love it." And he walked back here and he looked at it and he was like, "It's pink." And I said, "Yeah." And he picked it up and started playing it. And he was like, "Man, I freaking love this guitar." I was like, "Are you gay? Are you? I didn't know that you were. You have a fiance. It was just, shut up, Dad. I don't care how it looks. It plays like it's amazing. Of course, it didn't play that way when it come in here. It took a little bit of doing to get it to play like that. But at the same time, and I put 9 to 46s on it because he wanted it, number one, tuned down and set up in drop D. And at the same time, I said, okay. And he goes, "And I want to be able to bend those strings to the moon," he said. I said, 9 to 46 it is. So, oh, come on, Timmy. Everybody can use a little every now and then. TSA in the house. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Caught the rewind of Ed's show with you on it last Sunday. Really cool. Or was that last Sunday? I don't know. My days run together. I can't keep track of nothing. Give me the clap. Yeah, I seen that video. I did. I seen it. And you know what? I've got a few buttons that I can program over here to say what I want that button to say and just record it into that. And I need to set that up. But you just like everybody else, you get the clap. But I missed that stream, but I caught the back end of it, and that interface is or what you're going through is legit, Chris. That's pretty awesome. Okay, now, Brant, this question is for you. I know that you've had Stritch guitars before and everything, and basically, Stritch reached out to me last week, and they sent me an email. It was one of those deals where I checked the email, then checked the spam folder, and then it was there. They wanted to sponsor a video, and I asked what I always ask: what do you need from me? And usually if they make it to, "We just need your bank account number," it's poof, deleted. I don't do none of that stuff. But that wasn't the case at all. And so I ended up talking to this woman and ended up doing a, well, ended up getting sent this. This showed up today. The stretch, I think it was SST S10. I kind of wanted, she sent me like 3 different things to pick from. And one was kits you put together. One of them was their bundles for beginners. And then one of them was like amps, pedals, stuff like that. And asked me if I wanted what I wanted to do. And she said I would hope that we had a long-term relationship, to review products down the road, which I know Brian has done that. He's done stretch pedals and guitars and stuff like that. But I said for now that I'm just going to go with this. And I ended up getting this today. It was actually supposed to be here Saturday, but I ended up getting this today. And they basically, it kind of come off as shady. I was going to play this, but I'm not really done with the setup yet. And the strings are, kind of way up for me. I had tuned it and checked it out, and it's okay, but it drops tune really bad. But I think that's because of the break angle up here. And one of the string trees is bent, and it's causing one of the strings to kind of veer off to the side a little bit. So I'm sure after the initial review video that you guys know me, I'm going to mod the crap out of this thing. Timmy will tell you, if you don't know, this thing won't look like itself when I'm done with it. But my question for you, Brant, is this. Have they ever, I think they've contacted you. One, did you do other stretch products with them and keep that relationship open, or did you just do the one and move on from that? I don't know. I would talk to Brian about it, but Brian is like insanely busy. And I've been thinking about shooting him an email, Okay. Tease. Okay. Let's see. It says, sweet. I wonder if that's why they're sending me. I didn't get a choice, but I reached out to them and I should have a guitar from them. Sweet. Oh, okay. All right. Well, then maybe it's just Brian I'm thinking of that's done so much with stretch. I thought that, and well, of course, Ted. I've not had a chance to talk to Ted yet. But I got a choice. They give me the 3 links. I picked on the one for the bundle, and I went through the colors, and I like, you guys know from the PV Raptor, and I like the Burst. And the first thing I thought when I seen this one is this is going to look really, really cool with all of this black. And so that's why I kind of went with this one. And I kind of picked it before I really even paid attention to any reviews on it, but people are saying good things about it. I've started the video on that, but I'm kind of trying to keep the beginner mindset, because the intermediate myself is like, oh, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. But I'm trying to keep the beginner mindset on it, and so far it's not been really disappointing, other than the bent string tree, but those are just so easy to change. It's not really, a red flag or nothing. But then again, I've not really set it up to my liking. I didn't get to that part of the video, so. Blue Mox. How are you, Chris? Okay, well, it was probably Ted. Uh, I went through the whole spiel too. I told him like I told Millionaire. I was like, look, you're not going to pay me to lie. That's not going to happen. Uh, because my transparency and my honesty is very important to my audience. And I don't want to be that guy, you know. Well, String Picker says it's amazing. I'll buy one, and then they get just a load of crap. I'm not. I'm not going to be that guy. And then she told me, she was like, well, that's what we're looking for. We need to know how to improve. I do know that the earlier one from last year, they've changed the headstock design. This was really Fender-esque last year when they started doing the guitars and stuff, and then it's changed somewhat now, which that's no big deal to me. I know that the tuning machines were really tight. I was really impressed with that. No wiggles. The tuning keys was really tight. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not. I didn't finish the setup, but I plan on doing quite a bit of that. But when I was doing the video, I was just trying to keep the beginner mindset. Is a beginner going to be able to tune this thing up right out of the box and play? Well, the action is at like 2.25. So I thought for a second, I don't like that. That's not for me. But then I have to think to myself, beginners are not really going to be down there. They're going to be doing their cowboy chord stuff, playing and everything. So that's not really a red flag. So far, I mean, it's a really good beginner guitar. I've not found any sharp frets on it at all. And I mean, I'm sure that sometime in the future, if I don't get something on that fretboard, there will be sharp frets. And I plugged it up once just to hear the pickups, how much noise was coming from the pickups. Not bad at all. Typical single coil noise. It just wasn't that bad at all. I was really impressed with it. Do black pick guard and cream pickup covers. I've got cream pickup covers. May do that. I just may do that. And I think I've got some a volume and two tone knobs that are also cream. I don't know. I'll have to look and see how that is, how it looks on it. Because I've already done the all black hardwire black pickup on the PV Raptor, and I really like that guitar. It looks great like that, but I'm kind of want to follow that a little bit, but not all the way. So let's see. Sounds busy. Oh, cool! I can't wait to see that. Uh, I watched the I watched the one you put up where you were covered up, and everything. I'm feeling that now. I've got room. I have 16 guitars hanging on my walls, and I've got one stand that holds 9 guitars, and I've got this stand, and I've got 2, 3 more back here, and I've only got right now 2 spaces left in that guitar stand that holds 9 guitars. Everything else is covered up, and it's kind of triggers my anxiety a little bit. But Alan is such a cool dude. He's like, I'm like, what kind of time frame are we looking at? And let me see that. Okay. All right. Hey, why don't you say something? Where are you going? Dadgummit. One of these days, I'm going to get her on camera. I'll have to sneak. My daughter's like, why don't you just say hi to him? That's hilarious. Okay. Let's see. Well, where'd it go? There it is. Add a question. Okay. Is that a custom headrush laptop stand? No, I built that. This is just like a pedal board that I built out of just like little 1x3 or 1x2s and just a little like half-inch sheet of plywood, and I put some Velcro on it, and then I just stuck that to it. And you can take it off. It's just sitting on the table, but you can take it off of that. I just leave it there because it's easier for me to plug in and out of and stuff. But now whenever I do something with the head rush, I can just set it down on the floor and use stomp mode and all that stuff. But yeah, I built that little pedal board for that. And I need to build one lighter because that pedal board is a bit heavy. Tim in the house. There you go. See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know why she's shy. I have no idea. And I tell her, I was like, the guys would love to talk to you. There is a video coming up that is pretty funny, and it was I think I can't remember which one it was, but she walks in and I'm on the bench and I'm doing stuff, and she just busts through the door, and she's like, "Are you recording?" I said, "No, it's a time lapse. It's not picking up." And I was, and she come over there, and I was like, "So what do you need?" And she goes, "I just wanted to come back here and see what you was doing." I said, "Good, because I'm recording." And she was like, "Oh," and then went out the door, and I was hollering at her trying to get her to come back. She just won't do it. She's afraid of cameras. Yeah, I get that. Well, she has to like me, I guess, to put up with 28 years of me. But and she only is in. She's could care nothing about anything in this room except for that teal blue LTD right there and that teal green Washburn X series back there. Oh, okay. All right. Uh I thought you was actually talking about what that was on over there. But now, I do run that head rush with my laptop. It's head rush is just phenomenal, man. I love head rush. They make some great, great products. Yeah, they make some great pedals. They do really good. Also, the I've not come up with a date. Probably going to probably by this weekend or beginning next week of when the drawing for the pedals is going to be. If you guys have not seen that video, which I think everybody here has, uh, you want me to buy you a computer desk? Or are you good? No, I'm good. I've got one right over here. It's holding all the mixer and everything, and holds this computer, and then that one back there is that computer. I just move it. It's for like backing tracks and stuff. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to share something else with you guys too that I found out, and I'm thinking about doing a video on this. Uh, you guys have no, I can't show you right now, but you guys have seen not this today's video, but last Thursday's video where I made the little 8-way switch that had all the nanofarad capacitors on it to revoice pickups and all that stuff. Cheeto, what's up, brother? Long time no talkie. Let's see. There are so many multi-amp rigs these days. I would love to have another, but truthfully, I'm totally happy with the Boss GX100. Yes, and if you are, just stay with it. Because I'm telling you, going from something you're used to something you're not used to is a pain, especially if you have little patience like me. I was lucky enough when I got into this head rush right here. I was lucky enough that I owned the MX5 head rush for a year before that. And when I got into, so I went into this with a bit of knowledge, and that helped out a whole bunch with this one. But if I was to go from this to, say, the new Line 6 Stadium, no, that I would love to try it. I would, but you know, having to refigure all that stuff, I'm getting too old for that stuff, man. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, getting back to what I was saying. The 8-way switch that I did on Lieutenant Dan, I told you guys in that video that come from a channel that I've recently started watching quite a bit, and that was Waylon McPherson Guitars. And this dude is an absolute wiring genius. He just experiments with everything, and he comes up with some of the craziest stuff. And I know you guys have been through, okay, let's take this one for instance. I know you guys have been through tuning pickups. And in order to do, some people will just raise one, lower and get the volume where they want it to be, set the pickup height, and you're done. But the thing about it is that each pole piece has that screw in it, and you can back it out, push it in to make the volume of each individual string kind of even with the other ones. If you have like a G string that's quiet, a B string that's too loud, a low E string that's way too loud, you can adjust those, on the fly. And we've all done that by ear. And by ear, it's okay. You can also do it with a decibel meter like I have on the mixer. You just pluck your string, hold it, see where it stops, and then that will get you in the realm. Not exactly perfect, but it'll get you in the realm. This freaked me out. I don't know if you guys can see this. I may have to scoot over. Yeah, right there. You can see right here behind me, you see that little meter that's going up and down. Okay, well, each one of those is for one of the strings on your guitars from low E to high E. And it measures not only volume by the meter, but the actual decibels that it's cranking out. And the reason why it's going off right now is because the computer, that computer is Bluetooth through this mixer. So it's picking up my voice, and that's the reason why it's doing that. let you know if it's like at clipping, you know, and all that stuff. But the cool thing about that is that there's a little line. I'm not sure if you guys can see it or not. There's a little white line right there that shows peak, and that's where your peak is. And then you can click on the next one for the next string. You can pluck it, and you can adjust your pickup until it gets to that same peak or wherever you want it. And you can do that all the way across the board, that tuning your pickups like that. So it takes all of the guesswork out of hearing, especially if you got old 52-year-old rock and roll ears like I do. But Waylon McPherson come up with that and put it on his website, had designed that and put it on his website. And so I'm going to put that in the video, the website and everything. And basically all I have to do is, like right now, you guys are getting sound from me, guitars and everything in here through a USB that is actually plugged into my phone, which is the remote camera for StreamYard. So what I do is I just unplug that, plug it into the side of this laptop back here, and I can go through and tune those strings. So I thought, okay, this is cool. I'm going to try this out. Chris, BCG, you know, brother, how much me and you love ESP pickups. The LTD guitars, how much we love them. I've not found one yet that I've had to tune a pickup on. They've all sounded fantastic, all of them. This LTD M200DX up here sounds amazing. And those are LH150s. That's the pickups that's in that guitar. Those are amazing, amazing pickups. I love them. They're just great, great pickups. I took that thing off the wall and I checked it, and it was out of tune. I done the neck position first, and I did it on clean tone because I didn't want any sustain, any effects, nothing. Just a clean, dry signal. And it was, E was here, A was down here, D was here, G was down here, that, you know, on and on and on across the board. When I tuned that neck pickup and went back and played it again, it was a completely different sounding guitar. So I was talking to Timmy on the phone earlier, and me and Timmy were, I discussed him, you know, we was talking about videos and, you know, stuff that we was doing, and I brought up, you know, the guitars that I got over the weekend and this and that. And I said, but I'm about to do a video and put it out about this cool little thing that I found. And Timmy was like, are you going to take every guitar off your wall and retune the pickups, Casey? Are you? Are you going to take them all off the wall and retune them? And I was like, why are you asking questions you already know the answer to? So, yeah. Let's see here. Blue Mox. Nice, Casey. I do that with my setup. Different setup, but it's great to balance out all of the pickups individually and to each other. Total nerd stuff. Yeah, I know, I get it. And I'm a nerd about stuff like that. When it comes to wiring and pickups, and, you know, I'm learning a lot more now than I used to know about them. And it seems like no matter how much you learn, there's always something else to learn. But when I seen that was like, that takes the guesswork out of it, because I've done that to a lot of my guitars. I've tuned them by ear, you know, and even I never touched the LTD. I didn't try to tune those pickups, but there is one or two in here that I did tune by ear, and I think that I'm going to get them down, and I'm going to try them with this little thing back here and see if I can't, how close it was to getting them all the same volume. But yeah, that's and it's free. It's totally free. I mean, you don't have to download nothing. All you got to do is just go to the website, and it's got the option on the website. You clicked on that, and then it just brings it up there, free to use. You can, you know, I love that dude, man. If y'all ain't subscribed to Waylon McPherson Guitars, I mean, you get into the nerdy, geeky stuff, that dude's where it's at now. Yeah, that's true. I get that. Yeah, because yeah, I'm telling you, man, it sure ain't like it used to be. You remember back when, I know I was like this in my early 20s. I'd go to a guitar store and buy a guitar, and they would do a complete setup. They would check the strings, make sure everything was ringing out great. I've seen them mess with pickups and all that stuff. These days, if you want that done, you're paying 200 extra dollars to do it, and I just ain't into that no more. I'm a nerdy, geeky guitar dude. Timmy, your glasses need, and I need to do it to mine. Get that white tape, and put it around right here where it's supposed to be broke at. Almost as cool as BCG. Yeah. I don't know if any of us could be as cool as BCG. But yeah, I've not done that to this one either. But I plan on trying to tune this one. This thing is just an absolute, just, I don't know, man. This thing blows me away. For a pink guitar, I mean, uh, Aaron is doing that Tiffany guitar series, and he's talking about that thing being pink. That there is pink, like all day long. But yeah, man, I'm kind of curious. Now, in the video that I did for the Stritch review, um, I didn't change anything. It's got the strings that came on it. It's got, I changed nothing. Like, I had the mindset of a beginner's not going to know how to do that. He's going to just take it out of the box and possibly tune it up or have somebody to tune it up. And it comes with a little tuner too that's actually not too bad. I've used it a couple of times. But, I've kind of kept the mindset of just leaving it like it is, just a tune up and just play and see, because they wanted me to talk about the setup of the guitar. And the setup of the guitar looks good except for string height. And the only bad thing that I think I'm going to have a problem with on this guitar is the whole piece, or the saddle screws here. Because if I lower these right here, that's going to dig into my palm. So I think that's the only gripe I had about it is, but then again, beginners are basically just going to strum the strings, and start learning their chords and stuff, and they'll worry about the rest of this later on down the road. And up here, the nut was in really good shape. I was proud of that, even though that looks exactly like a plastic nut, and it is. But yeah, I have some gripes about it, but from a beginner standpoint, I can't gripe about it. So when they sent this over, And I asked her, you know, what do you want from me? Well, you just want your honest opinion on where we can improve. And what probably one of the things I'm going to tell them is, you know, if they're going to try and set these up, and it looks like they did, because the saddles are in the position to where it looks like it's intonated, but it's not. Um, it's off a little. It's not perfect, but it does look like they did try to intonate it before they completely dropped every string for the shipping, and so nothing would happen to it. But that so far, that's the only gripe is right there. And I thought, well, if the kid's a metalhead, the first thing he's going to want to do is learn how to palm mute. And if he lays his hand right there, it's gonna scratch him up. But yeah, man, it's not too bad. We get off of that effect. That is, you guys can hear the noise on that, but it's got crazy amount of effects and everything put on it. This is high gain without the effects. Yeah, and see this one. That's what this one needs. You know, uh, and really, you would have to. Well, I don't know. I guess I just know when I did set it up completely, other than just tuning it right out of the box, and that's basically all that's been done to it. Is it's been tuned up right out of the box, and that's it. The strings are still stretching; they still drop out every now and again. This is a clean tone. That out of tune. I just got this out of the box probably about 3 to 4 hours ago, so I'm sure the strings are still doing their thing. Not a bad tuner though, even though it's cheap. I said that, and then it's now I don't want to register on the B string. Just move it a little bit. Oh, I know what it is. There we go. Okay. Now, got to change the D. But it has promise. I'll give it that. I'm going to do something with it. That's for sure. Once I get the initial video out of the way. And get, you know, probably, I've got a black pick guard, I think, that will fit right on that. If I ain't mistaken, and that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11 screw holes. So I should have a pick guard that'll fit right on that. A black one, and then I've got two others that one is a little bit off-white and one's sort of a real light mint green kind of thing. Yes, it did, Brant. Actually, if I can keep from knocking everything down, that was the little amp. I've not even tried this out yet. I don't even know. I've charged it, and it got charged up, but I've not even tried that out yet. And it come with a bunch of stuff. I mean, that tuner, this. Let's see. What else? Get a little bag of goodies that come with it. A guitar strap that's not too bad. I've seen guitar straps come a whole lot worse than this, but it's got the folded over leather ends. So that came with it. And then, of course, it come with the, and I've not looked at this either, but what I'm planning on using when I demo it, the only thing I'm going to do is throw a microphone in front of that little amp so I can run it through the interface. But I'm not going to throw any, I'm just going to use what come in the box. And just mic in front of it. That way, you know, use this cord and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not big on the cords that are molded around the ends like that. I'd rather have the ones that kind of come up and screw onto it so you can get in there and resolder if something ever happens to them. But it's a cord just the same. I'm going to try it out, see if it does good with that. And then, of course, the wiggle stick and the truss rod and saddle adjustments, pickup or picks, not pickups, but picks. And it comes with a little cheap capo that, which I never use one of these, but you know, a lot of kids probably would. Little capo like that. So come with that. Come with a bunch of stuff. And, you know, and I told them, I was like, I want the bundle. Just, I want it in the sunburst color. And they were like, okay, you know, and then I didn't hear nothing. Well, they didn't even say okay. I told them what I wanted. I said, if you want to send this to me, then that's fine, you know. And I said, what do you want from me? And they said, we just need your name, your shipping address, and your telephone number. I said, okay. So I give her those three things, and I didn't hear nothing else. And then I sent an email back. Was this all you needed? Didn't hear nothing else. I was like, well, they've just straight up, you know, they were trying to scam me and realized that they couldn't scam me, and I wasn't going to give away bank information or anything like that. And so I was just kind of let it go. And then the next morning I got a email from FedEx, which I was praying they didn't use FedEx, because the FedEx drivers around here just hate their life, and they take it out on all of their packages. And but I got an email from them saying it was going to be here Saturday, and then it got held over in Nashville, Tennessee, so it showed up today. Yeah, I do. This is a little laptop desk. That's a little laptop desk. That's a laptop desk back there. Yeah, I agree, Chris. I've got that PV Raptor up there, and the first thing, it had a white pick guard and all that, chrome hardware and everything, and I blacked all of it out, and that guitar looks fantastic with it being blacked out like that. And I always thought that the Sunburst Strat style guitars, no matter who made them, look better like that. Yeah, Brant, that I don't know. I have to. I don't know. I mean, I'm just too picky, I guess. I'm not done with the video. I'm sure that before the video is up, I'm going to say, look, if you're an intermediate player and you don't know how to set up a guitar, you're not going to want this one. But if you're an intermediate player and you do know how to set a guitar up, then this may be right up your alley. But my thing is, guys, is this. I think these listed, I'm not really for sure, but like somewhere around $130 to $150 for this bundle. I give $100 for that Groat. And that Groat is fantastic, other than the bridge. Chris, that's coming. I've been sidetracked with customers. But other than that, that Groat is a fantastic guitar. It's just great for $109. I mean, come on. They asked me who I voted for, a social security number, and a note from my mom. I think I would have sent that email straight to trash if they had said something like that to me. Got Timmy all tore up. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to do. That's and that's because I already brought up the saddle screw situation. Because at the end of the day, uh, you're beginning guitarist that's dying to say they've seen little Tommy or little Sally at school playing guitar, and they've decided that's what they want to do. I want to do that, and they don't think about how hard it's going to be to learn, how, everything has to fall into place for you to keep motivated to play guitar. And the first time you take a kid like that and stick this guitar in their hands, and they want to learn a Metallica song that little Tommy was playing a week ago, and Googled how to palm mute, as soon as they lay their palm on that and then they start doing, they're going to realize that set screw's digging into their skin, and it's going to be uncomfortable. And, fretting strings is uncomfortable enough for a beginner. You shouldn't have to worry about anything else. So that's going to be part of the video too. I think I'm probably going to put, now Wednesday I have an appointment with my specialist. I got to get stabbed in my eyeballs with needles again. So I'm going to be done that day. I'm not going to be doing anything. So I'm going to try to get it done and edited and possibly scheduled. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure, to come out Wednesday. I don't know. Or I may set it up to come out this coming Saturday. So I may do that. I may just wait, because once I have them shots in my eyes, I'm done. And you know, the day is gone. And I'm sore for a couple of days after that. So that's not going to be a good thing for me to have to stare at a computer screen and everything's blurry and I can't see, and bright lights freak me out and everything. But yeah, I didn't even reach out to them or nothing. They just contacted me, and I'm like, what? This can't be right. I'm just a hair over 500 subscribers. Why are you contacting me? What does it matter? And then I got thinking, maybe they look at, but I don't think they can really see it other than the views on each video. But because my channel has over 200,000 views, I have well over 4,000 watch hours on my channel. Everything meets criteria for monetization except for the ad, the 1,000 subscriber mark. I can do AdSense now, but 1,000 subscriber mark, everything else is done except for that particular goal. And so it kind of freaked me out. I was like, why are they reaching out to me? And then in the back of my head, I'm like, free guitar, no matter how bad it is, I'm probably going to mod the crap out of it anyway. I don't really like the thickness of the neck either. It's like a C profile, and it's a bit bulky. And so down the road at some point, when I do decide to start modding this thing, I'm probably going to take some of the meat off of the back of that neck, kind of slim it down a little bit. So it's okay for me, as I got these big gargantuan hands, but for a kid that's playing, that's probably going to be pretty hard, and I don't even know if I'll keep that guitar. I may end up modding it and selling it or donating it, or I wish I had some place around me, Brant, like you've got around you, like a music school or something that I could do, that I could take, guitars and donate, to those kids, because at the end of the day, my biggest thing is helping out, trying to get these kids to play music, because half of the kids these days are growing up thinking, if I've got everything in the world wrong with me, then I'm special. And that's not how it is. There's you run into, well, as a matter of fact, my nephew has a girlfriend. She can't eat, I don't like tomatoes. I don't like onions. I don't like lettuce. I don't like peanut butter. I don't like, so what can you eat? McDonald's. What? I don't understand all that mess. So when I try to work with kids to try and get them into music, it's to teach them to cope with adult life, because once you get to adulthood, ain't nobody going to care. Nobody's going to care. If Tom, Dick, or Harry comes to this house and I say, hey, would you like to sit down for supper? We're having lasagna and garlic bread. I don't like lasagna and I don't like garlic bread. What else you got? Not a daggum thing. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. So, rant over as far as that goes. I don't have a high school music program. They're all horned instruments, all of them, and drums. There's no guitars whatsoever in our high school. I live in a smaller town, so There's nothing like that. So I have to find kids that are looking, that uh, watch Marketplace. And, if somebody puts an ad up, hey, I'm looking for someone that might have an old beater guitar for my son to learn on or something. Those are the people I have to look for, because not within 60 miles of me is there a school that has a music program. Even the bigger city that's about 30 miles down the road, they have a music program in school, their band, and it's same thing, horned instruments, drums, snares, stuff like that. That's all they got. So, we still back in the Stone Age. Uh-oh. Yeah, and maybe, I don't know. Maybe someone did. I don't know. But then Melanair, I never reached out to Melanair because CD Nelson actually sent me a message, a text, and he says, "Hey, there's this company Melanair. You want to reach out to them? They're going to send me this, this, and this. It's a sponsored video and da 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 da." And I was like, I didn't want to do it, so I didn't reach out because Chris was going to do it, and then there may be others doing it. So I didn't kind of want to, step on somebody else. And they ended up reaching out to me. I never even contacted them or nothing. So then I thought, well, maybe CD Nelson recommended my channel, But with this, I don't know. I mean, I've never had anything to do with Stretch. This is the first Stretch guitar or anything I've ever owned. So I don't know. Maybe so. If they did, I'd sort of like to know who it was. I could thank them, but it didn't matter. I have 365 subscribed. I got 6 reads. Oh, aren't you special? Shut. I'm just kidding. Timmy says, you guys are out of my league. Timmy, if I shouldn't even be here. Timmy, yes, you should, and I'll tell you, if anybody reaches out to you, it's going to be the CEO of Keystone Light or Marlboro. There's going to be stuff that you don't want, probably. Oh man, that was a pretty good one. I should have done the thing. There it is. Got you, brother. Yeah. Yeah. You tell him, Brant. I'm so mad I can't. Brant, thank you. I'm unsubbing, by the way. That seems to be a go-to threat from Timmy. I'm unsubscribing. Yeah, Melanair done the same thing with me. Uh, hey, Ted's here. What's up, Ted? Everybody, round of applause for Ted. Uh, so maybe they do that too. Maybe they do what's called fishing. Fishing for lower end channels to review their stuff. And Ted, a whole lot of laughing, brother. That's the basis behind every live stream that I do, is just a lot of laughs. These guys crack me up. Kind of blue stretch. This is for you, and the blue collar. Green, almost teal blue. Yeah, that was actually one that I could have picked and I didn't, because I love the sunburst. Uh, the sunburst color. And really the hardest part is just staying in the beginner mind frame, reviewing this. And Ted's in here. Ted has done quite a few of these, I'm sure. I've seen you do quite a few of these, rather. But now, I will give it this. Now, this is not from a beginner standpoint. This is from like intermediate, I guess, is what you would call myself. But I've seen these come in at the same price range in a whole lot worse shape than this. A whole lot worse in other brands. So I will give Stritch that. If I can run my fingers down a fretboard and not feel any sharp frets, and know that just a little bit of setup and it's playable, and all I did was tune it, and it's playable. I mean, that's not. And then considering what you get in that package, Stritch is kind of knocking it out of the park on the beginner stuff. But who knows? I mean, maybe they'll start putting out more, higher end stuff, to review later down the road. I don't know, but like I said, I'm going to mod the time out of that one once I get the review and everything done and over with. John, prayers for you, brother. I pray for all you guys on whatever you're going through, but it's just, I feel it. I know somebody should have done a better job at warning me what it was going to be like when I got older. Because once you hit 40, like it's like your check engine light comes on and it don't never go off again, and it sucks. Like I was saying earlier, I've got to go day after tomorrow. I've got to drive an hour and a half at 4:30 in the morning to get to my appointment in time. My appointment's at about 7, and then go in there and everybody's smiling at me, and then you get back in the room and they shove 2 needles in your eyeballs. So it's no fun. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the reason why they give me a choice, and I almost wanted to do a telly, but I've got like these are 11-hole pick guards, and I'm not sure. Maybe they'll fit, maybe not. But I've got 3 11-hole pick guards for the SSS type single coils. And I really want to put the black one on that and sort of black it out a little bit, because I think the sunburst looks great when it's blacked out. But I was that close. I was going through looking, and I was that close. And but now I picked this one for a bundle. I'm forever advocating for music in our youth, especially in my area. Always trying to help, people get for even friends of mine, to get their children into music and stuff. And when I started this channel, I thought, well, this is a way to reach out and just tell everybody, hey, this is good, this is good, this is bad, this is not for a beginner, this ain't for a beginner. The one thing I will say about this one is, so far, it needs no truss rod adjustment. Truss rod adjustment is money. That was one good thing about this particular guitar, because beginners are not going to know what to do with that. So, unless they have someone in their life that can do it, Ted, I got one for you, brother. You need this in your life. Look at that. You ever get tired of carrying that man card? This right here, get rid of it in a hurry. I lost half of my man card just shooting a video on that thing. Tim says my engine got replaced and I still have lights going off all the time. Yeah, I get that. Right now I'm in the no light on the dash groove. I feel you. I know what it's like. Except mine has come on and never, never, ever went off. Yeah, Ted, check this out. This thing is, I recently got 5 guitars from one customer. Oh, that reminds me, I got to show you the 2 project guitars that I got. You guys are going to get a kick out of this. Hey there, Mr. Nelson. Applause for Mr. Nelson. It's a Kramer Beretta Special. I'm telling you that, and look at the volume knob. It's an eyeball. And this dude, I don't know what, he bought it for like $159, $49, something like that. But that pickup is insane. Like, the sound does not match the guitar. If you throw gain at this, it is just unbelievable. He put it in a shed and just left it there. I don't know if he's getting a lot of people harking on him about having play a pink guitar, but he left it in the shed for about 4 years. So I had to do quite a bit of work to it to get it all straightened out. But that thing plays like a champ. I want one, just not in pink. But yes, let me, okay, I've got, this one's kind of out of the way for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this one out. Well, I can't. I've got y'all right in the way. So I'm going to move the camera. Try not to get seasick or anything like that. I got to show you guys these 2 guitars. They're project guitars that that I got that are really, really cool. I see a lot of potential in one of them, but another one I've got questions about, and that's where you guys come in. So let's grab this one and this one. One of them is just a straight up abomination. The other is like I can work with it, you know. This is one of them. You guys remember this brand? The Austin brand. Let's see. Let's go back up. Let me turn this camera around here. There we go. This is one that the customer gave to me. He brought 3 guitars and he said he had 2 that he wanted to donate to the channel. And this was one of them. And it's a little bit dirty, but it's got, I don't know why, but he screwed quarters. I thought that they were different knobs, but he's screwed quarters to 2 of the knobs. So I'm 50 cents richer, I thought, until I looked up here and he screwed a dime to the headstock up here. So I'm 60 cents richer. But this one just needs electronics. Of course, I'm thinking about changing out the pickups in it and getting something a little more traditional looking to go in there, I guess. But it needs the electronics done, so I'm stripping all of that out and I'm going to put some full-size CTS Artitone pots in that one. But other than that, really, really good neck. This was the company, I think, that this was the, okay, Chris, you've seen Austin. And let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm right, but I was told this by the customer. I'm not really sure because I don't keep up with the drama between guitar band or brands. But this was the company that actually got sued by Gibson and was given a cease and desist because their specs were so close to the Gibson Les Paul. And he had told me that. Of course, I didn't know that. I don't know how much truth there is to it or whatever. All I know is that it's a great looking guitar. It doesn't have the pick guard, so I'll probably end up trying to find that. It's got the holes for it. Body looks good other than minor scratches. Even the back. The back's got one ding in it. And serial numbers are right on the back. There is no made in. It looks like it might have been put on a sticker and then peeled off. Not really sure. But yeah, and it's got a Jackson pickup in the bridge, and I'm not sure what this is right here, if it's what brand that is, or if it's any count or not. But it's kind of weird that it's got brass screws in the pickup right there. But that's going to be one that I Frankenstein and put together, and may end up donating this one, or may just he just wanted it. He said he wanted to donate to the channel. He said he loved my content, and he says him and his wife he watches at work, he watches at home, and he says the stuff you do is just absolutely hilarious. And I was like, the world needs to laugh, and that's a big part of my channel. Is if I can't cut up and get somebody to at least giggle, then what point is there? I can't be a serious guy. Hey, Mars is in here. Tried to sneak in, huh? Yeah, I see you. Let me turn that up just a little. There we go. Okay. All right, you have heard. That is correct. They basically copy pasted the dimensions. Yeah, that's exactly what Alan was saying. Not sure if that's one of the lawsuit ones, but I believe one of the bones of contention was the horn shape. Yeah, and that's the first thing that I noticed when he said that. I was like, well, that does look a whole lot like Les Paul right in here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But I'm going to try and it's got gold hardware, so I'm thinking about going back with some the gold pickups, brass covered pickups or whatever, doing that. So this one is way down the road at some point. I've just not got the time to put into it right now. But it's going to live here. Now, I'm about to, if any of you all know what this is, it's going to surprise the far out of me. Yeah, you think so, Brent? You think I should just leave it like that? It does look good. That quilted maple top, it looks great. And you really can't notice, there's the screw hole here and the screw hole here, and you really can't notice them all that well. I may just leave it off. I may do that. And Ted agrees. Okay, then yeah, I may just leave it like that. But when he showed me this, I was like, no, dude, no, I can't take that. And he goes, are you kidding me? Look at the back of it. And I flipped it around. I was like, okay, I'll take it. So, but this will, if any of y'all know what this is, it will blow my mind, because I've heard of this name before, but I have never seen one of these. Look at this abomination. Look at the body. Plywood. And then look down inside. Let's see if I can get you a good angle. Yeah, right there's a good angle. You see that top on it? How the plywood body on the inside, there's a gap between it and the top, in the arch top. He tried to tell me that this had a neck off of an acoustic on it. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever seen an acoustic with a neck like that on it, but this one is going to need pickups, and I'm not really sure what the inside of the control cavity looks like yet. I just got these home, but yeah, it's plywood all the way around. Like, they didn't even bother to try and cover that up, you know, with any kind of veneer or anything like that. They're just like, you're getting a plywood body. I hope you like it. And yeah, it's a semi-hollow body. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Oh no, don't do that to me, Ted. You'll have me looking like crazy. The critters call that crawl space. But yeah, there is a good, I'd say every bit of 3/8 of an inch a gap between the body and this top that's on here. And I don't know yet what I'm going to do with this one. I know that I'm going to do something with it for sure, but it's like, it's got a roller, like Tune-O-Matic style bridge on it, and it's got rollers on there, but that bridge is sitting against the body, and the strings are up probably about 2.5 millimeter off the fretboard. So that neck would need crazy shimming in order to get that to be right. And so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. Those have to go. I cannot stand those style of tuners. But yeah, I don't know what to do with this one. But you know, the first thing I thought of was, you know, for anything, yeah, that tuner don't even turn. But that bridge, I was thinking, well, the bridge, tailpiece, and a post would be good. Might be able to use the switch out of it, you know, something like that. But yeah, that, and this is the back of it. It's got, they put a back on it too. Looks like, no, that's plywood. That's what that is. That's the bottom side of the plywood right there. But yeah, ain't that nuts? Never seen one of these before in my life. I was like, what is that? You know? So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may, you know, it may be something else. You know, I may do, you know, find some kid needing a guitar and try to fix it up and use it for that purpose. Just give it to a kid that really needs a starter guitar or something like that. So I don't know. But it's going to need some work, and this one's way down the road too. The other one that had the wires hanging out of it, he says, oh, I've got the cover for the electronics cavity on that one. He gave it to me, and he said, I thought about charging you for this because it had Dirty Harry on it. And I was like, that is so cool. I said, I'm not taking that off. That'll stay on there. So, but yeah, that's two of them that was give to me by the customer. So I was really, really thankful. I mean, if he just handed me a neck or two, I'd have been okay with that. But you know, somebody that locally that watches my channel that wanted to donate to the channel for, you know, stuff, and he's got one, he brought me an Ibanez EX series, about a mid-90s model, or early to mid-90s model. It's got a crack in the neck right at the scarf joint, and it's just that one's going to take some doing. But luckily, I'm not on a time frame. He's take as long as you want. Dude's got like 40 guitars, so We can catch up on the chat now. Right, right. That's what I'm saying. You know, and here's the thing. I I'm sure that there is probably two pieces, you know, glued together. But I looked at that and I was like, it's the thickest piece of plywood in the world, you know. Guys, I used to, before I got sick and I ended up, you know, with the whole going blind and shots in the eyes, bad back, and all that crap, I worked for Ace Hardware. So I had like an unlimited amount of resource to any kind of lumber, any kind of plywood, anything, like one of everything in our store. You could build a house. You know, I mean, that's what we did. And I have never in my life, even looking online for thicker plywood, seen anything bigger than like a 15/16, you know? And so when I seen it, I was like, what? You know, that was just insane. Yeah, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Brant, I've been talking to Timmy about this. Uh, I've been doing art as long as I've been playing guitar. Like I've done portraits, I've done wood burning, oil paints, airbrushing. I used to have my own get up with airbrush, compressor and the little air pins, everything. And with that one, I'm thinking about, and I'm really, really thinking about doing it, is stripping all of that finish off the top of that and doing some artwork, just pencil drawing some artwork around the top and then going over it with a wood burner. And just because I used to do that when I was younger until I figured out that there's no money in it. You'll spend 12 hours doing a piece of art on I used to do it on gun stocks. And I would do like a squirrel sitting on a branch, cutting on a hickory nut, or, you know, ducks flying out of a pond, you know, stuff like that on gun stocks. And people didn't want to pay me. You know, I've worked 12 hours doing something like that, and all they'd want to pay was like, no, I got $40, you know, or something like that. So there was no money in it. But I would love to do something like that with that guitar. Just, you know, because at the end of the day, if nothing works on it and I can't get it right, you know, and it becomes just a wall hanger or something like that, then at least it'd be like a piece of artwork on the wall. So, and then just absolutely true all the time out of it. Yeah, and that's what I thought too, Chris, because when he told me that, I was like, nah, I don't think that looks like an acoustic neck. Uh, may have been something that somebody told him whenever they give it to him. I don't know. The way he talks, he never even played that thing. He was just, you know, it's laying around and he give it to me. But I don't think it is. I think the heel is too shallow. I do know one thing. It's not, it doesn't, it wasn't with that body, because you can look at the neck pocket and tell that that's not the neck that's supposed to be with that body. But I don't think it's an acoustic neck either. Encore, the name Encore kind of made me think of a brand back in the day of acoustic or whatever, but when I looked at the neck, I didn't think that it was. Yeah, new computer stand. Hey, this is what Blue Mox was talking about earlier. This is my headrush box. I know this is what he was talking about. This is my computer stand right here. You know why this is under this laptop? You know why? So you guys don't see me doing this instead of just sitting up straight looking at the computer. And then I've become the hunchback of YouTube, and I'd never hear the end of it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've heard of them before, and it was way back in the day, but I don't like. uh, Timmy's on a roll again. Uh, you can't do it. You love us too much. Let's see. My very first guitar, Lotus Strat, used hardware store parts for the locking nut and the plywood body. Nice seafoam green, but oh no, I had to strip it. Literally, you could look through the horns and slide quarters through them. You golly. Doubles as a slot machine. Yeah, there you go. People never realize that when custom work is done, your labor is part of the cost. Yeah, I know. And that was the thing. And guys, I'm going to okay, let me I think I may have some right here. I'll show you. Now I didn't mind, the cheaper prices on stuff that I did that didn't cost a whole lot. Uh, like, just standard pencil drawings on paper, that kind of stuff. It never did bother me that people didn't want to give a lot for it because it didn't take up too much time. But there there was and I thought that I had that over here. I don't guess I do, but I thought I did. I used to have a huge bunch of artwork laying around in a little folder, and I don't know what I've done with it. Like this, for instance. This is a comic book character, and I did this in like 1998. And I found this the other day and put it over here, and I meant to put it in that folder, but that folder's not back here. And this is just a pencil drawing of something I did in 1998. And I would do stuff like this on, well, not this particular comic character, but I would do stuff like that on gun stocks and stuff. And I would end up, taking a wood burn. I don't use like the soldering iron that I've got. I had little cheap wood burners that I would burn them in that had different tips for different shading and stuff like that. And I would use that and burn it in to gun stocks. And there was a guy, and this really stopped it from happening. He bought a 16 gauge Stevens shotgun, a single shot. It was kind of old. He bought it for like $100, and he brought it to me, and he was like, "Hey, can we do something with this guitar?" He said, "I'd like to spruce this up. Good squirrel hunt guitar." Da da da. I was like, "Okay, what do you want done?" And he was like, "Let's do some pheasants flying out of a wheat field." And I was like, "Okay, are you right-handed or left-handed?" And he says, "Well, I'm right-handed." I said, "Well, I'll put it on the right-hand side because that sticks out when you're shooting the gun." And so that's what I did. And I done, some tall wheat and these pheasants flying out. And there was one that was really close, and it was all detailed feathers and all this other stuff. And to give him that back, and he turned around and sold that gun when I got it done. He give me like $30 or $40 because he was a friend, and then he turned around and sold that $100 gun for $280. And that's when I was like, okay, we're not doing this. So I don't know yet, Tim, but if I do, I will. But for right now, I think the plan is going to be to spruce it up and do, like one of those wood burnings I was talking about on there, like a picture on there, and then refinishing. And I don't know. It really just depends. I may, because what I want to do with it and possibly the other one I may just keep. But what I want to do with it is just spruce it up. And if I have, because I'm constantly watching the forums on Facebook and marketplace for, a parent will put up an ad, hey, looking for a cheap guitar for my kid who wants to play. And then I can just, contact that person and donate that guitar to them. So, but who knows? That thing looks hideous. Nobody may ever even worn it. But I do want to fix it up, though. I want to get into it, and because to date, that is probably going to be the roughest shaped guitar I've ever seen, and it's going to put my skills to the test. So I may dive into that. I don't know. Well, thank you, Lance. If you're talking to me, that is. I don't call it talented. I call it being raised in the boonies and the closest neighbor with a kid my age being a mile and a half away and me too lazy to walk there. That's what I call it. So you kind of pick up a few hobbies when you're living in that situation as a child. That's an idea right there. That is an idea. The tone is in the plies. Who are you talking to? It ain't me. I know that. I don't know. You could be right, though. I don't know. Like I said, once I get it together, it's either going to be a playable guitar that sounds decent, or it's going to be a new laptop stand. So, yeah, tone and applies. Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of following along with Chris on this one. And I've seen, guitars with plywood bodies before, but I mean, that's blatantly obvious. I don't know, I don't know what was going through the manufacturer's mind. You know, uh, Mister, I like to make guitars. Should we cover up the sides with a veneer so they don't see that it's made out of plywood? No, just finish that thing. They'll love the idea. I don't. That's just something that don't register with me. So, but I mean, who knows? That one, it seems like all of the plywood is together, and it's not. I've looked inside there really good, especially around the pickup cavities, and it seems to be really good and together. And then that arch top that comes up, and there's a 3/8 of an inch a gap between it, and I don't know. That's just kind of, that's beyond me. Yeah, laptop stand. That's what I said a minute ago. Yeah, yeah. Well, so far, Ted, the only I was telling the guys earlier that I went into this when they reached out to me and they sent me this guitar. That I went into it, before I ever started shooting the video. I've only got half the video done, but I plan on having it up by Saturday night. And but I went into it with a beginner frame of mind and was just kind of like, if I never played guitar before, would this be playable out of the box? Would I not like it? Would I like it? Just going back to like my first electric guitar, how it affected me and da da da. And the only gripe I've had so far about it is the the actions at like 2.25 millimeter, and this low E saddle here is down, and it's the action's still that high, and the saddle screws are sticking up and they dig into your palm, which most kids that are starting to play is going to start with chords and all of this up here. But you get a kid that's wanting to play that wants to go straight into palm muting, it's going to tear their hands up. But that's the only gripe I've had about it so far. I mean, for me, it's not like it sits. It's definitely not for me. But by the time I get done with it, it'll be for somebody like me, because I'll mod the time out of that thing. And but I played it a little bit earlier. It sounds good. There's no problems with that. No problems with the electronics. The knobs are all good. So I don't know. I don't know. Anything can be made playable, though. Yeah, and that's true. That is very true. If you have the skill set to dive into it and stay dedicated to it, I mean, just about everybody in this community will prove that. Uh, it's, you know, I've done this for years and years, and the only thing, when you look at people that do tech work, everybody does stuff differently. Uh, I didn't have a teacher. I kind of figured a lot of this out on my own. And what help I did have was from Donnie. Of course, you guys seen the white tribute guitar back here, the Fender Squire. Uh, what was taught to me was taught to me by him as far as that. Never give me a guitar lesson though. I just watched him play and kind of picked up some of the techniques and stuff he was doing. But as far as tech work though, I was pretty much self-taught until I started my YouTube channel. And then I started looking at other people's channels like Ted's, Chris's, all of these tech people on YouTube, and I'm like, man, I've been doing it the hard way for a long time. There's an easier way to do this. I just got to get the right tools. I got to get, and this, that, and the other, you know, and once you get that skill set, though, I mean, you can turn the worst guitar. I mean, I put a Taxon kit together that sounded pretty good. If you can do that, that's an accomplishment. I mean, Yeah, yeah, and that's what this is. All I did was tune it up when I got it because I wanted, right out of the box. All a beginner should have to do is just tune it up and play it. So far, it's passing. So far, the the truss rod adjustment was perfect. The action was a little bit high once you get down toward the 12th, but up where the cowboy chords area, which is what most beginners start on, that was pretty comfortable. The nut was cut right. Seems to be intonated, but when I checked it, it's just a little bit off. But it looks like they made an attempt at that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, and it come with a bunch of stuff, and that was part of the video I've not got to yet. All of this right back here on the bench. Yeah, Timmy, we know you are, and I think we're all responsible for it. Because I remember when you was just getting on there talking about other channels and everything. Next thing you know, you're putting a kit together, and then you're calling me up and telling me how hooked you are. It's a bug. It is a bug, and it bites pretty hard. Okay, well, guys, I think I'm going to call it. It's getting about 8 o'clock here, and I've got some. Hey, wait a minute. When did Aaron come in? Did I already? Oh, you're going to make really well under these just 3 hours today. Okay, I think I've already give you the applause. Okay. All right. I'll let it go this time, buddy, but don't make a habit of it. Thank you, Ted. And, oh, just now. Okay. Yeah. All right. Trying to slip around on me, huh? Yeah. Yeah. It's good seeing you, brother. It really is. I hate that you come in right when I'm fixing to shut everything down, but it's about 8 o'clock here. Oh, I do. Oh man, I put it up already. Wished you to come in earlier. You was working on Tiffany, and I have been working on a Kramer Beretta that is like Tiffany is a cool pink. This is like straight up 10-year-old girl's fingernail polish pink. I mean, just I was telling everybody I lost some of my man card shooting a video with that thing, but it plays amazing. Thank you, Brant, Chris, Nelson, Aaron, Ted, Timmy, brother. I love you. I love all of you. But thank you for the conversation we had earlier today on the phone. It's always a pleasure. Always. Uh, John, you guys, you rock. You really do. And so I'm just going to remind you that uh, every day, every single day, I'm praying that you and yours are having the most blessed day ever. And I pray that God is with you all. Until next time, later.